Hey everybody, I'm thinking about redoing the lighting here on my Gudgeon tank. I've got another project going on right now. I'm keeping it a surprise for the moment. I've been talking about it for a while, so if you're a regular viewer, you're probably familiar with it. But what I'm looking at now, I will say I put a new hood on this tank. I'm not going to go into details, but I've got a brand new hood on this tank, and when I took the old one off, it was really filthy. And these are all glass hoods. And then I have two fixtures on top this tank, both of which contain two high output T5s. So I've got four high output T5s on this 40-gallon tank. And the Gudgeon comes from sort of dark, shadowy, shady areas. And in this case, the tank is a downright jungle. And you've seen that little rubber lip pleco making an appearance, popping in and out. Those are the only two fish in the tank. It's just Gudgeon and that pleco. For now, I am actually considering a tank mate or two, but that's, again, for another video in the future. So when I put the new hood on it tonight and I turned the lights back on, I just realized how bright it is. And I really do want to thin some of these plants out. For one, I need to. I noticed that one of the temple plants was actually growing up and out of the water and against the glass. But the glass turned out to be filthy on the old tank. On the old hood. So this brand new clear hood is really ridiculously bright on there. So I'm thinking about putting a different fixture on there. Again, I can't go into too many details because I don't want to give away what my project is going to be. I will say, while I've got you here, you should go check out my Patreon page. I've actually sort of gotten stuck on new patrons. My next goal is to get 35 patrons, and when I do, I'm going to reveal what's in my quarantine tanks to my patrons. In the meantime, however, I've been shooting behind the scenes video and updating everybody along the way what's going on here in the fish room and what my new project is. So for my Patreon patrons, this video is going to make a lot more sense as to why I have a new hood on this tank and why I'm considering changing the lighting around. I do have some other options, and with the project I'm working on, I'll be able to sort of swap these lights around, maybe do a combination of more intense and less intense lighting, and likewise with my new project. So again, I don't want to say anything else because I'm going to give away too many hints and secrets. Any way you slice it, whether you check out my Patreon page or not, if you're just a regular old YouTube viewer and that's what you're happy doing here, you will find out exactly what I'm talking about in the very near future. I began putting a video together today. I want to wait and do a big reveal and show everybody the finished product, and then there will be a video that sort of shows my process along the way of how I put it together and what I did and so on and so forth. So all of this talk about a hood and new lighting and so on and so forth is going to make a lot more sense down the road a piece. If you want to find out what I'm talking about right now, you can go and check out my Patreon page. So thanks for watching this one, and make sure you're subscribed here to my YouTube channel. That way you won't miss any of the updates I've got coming up and any of the little things I'm working on. This is sort of a side project that kind of happened because I'm working on something else, and I don't know, maybe you know how that goes, maybe you don't. But quite often when you start moving one thing around, you wind up having too many plants that you took out of one tank and you got to put them somewhere else, so you wind up rescaping another tank. And this is actually sort of involving a few of my tanks where some plants are going to get moved around in the long run. Even the position of some of the tanks here in my fish room are going to get moved around. So check out my Patreon page if you want to find out what's going on. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you're subscribed here to my YouTube channel as well. Don't forget, this one is my Gudgeon tank. It's still called my Gudgeon and T-bar tank on the playlist, but for now it is just my Gudgeon tank, and we'll see what it is in the very near future. So thanks again. I'll see you real soon.